So the only way to combat that is to be really, really intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still give them stuff, you can still love them, but it's going to take some really upstream parenting to raise kids who are humble, who are grateful. And I think that there's going to be some training and it's not going to be easy. So I think on this topic there, we can laugh and, my 14-year-old, he's a work in progress, no doubt about it. But my husband and I are very much having conversations like, what can we do this week? What can we do? Because we only have a few more years before he's gone. And oh my goodness, it's so important. So
Yeah.
I just think we need to take it really seriously.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think it's so easy, like you mentioned, selfie culture. And I think there's a tendency to think, okay, I'm going to be the opposite of that. And I'm going to make sure my kids think about other people first. And that's fine, but that will only get them so far because other people are inevitably going to let them down.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're making decisions to like satisfy other people, it's going to put them in a bad place eventually. So we have to take it as Christians a step further and say, my kids aren't going to think about themselves. My kids aren't going to even think about other people. My kids are going to think about the Lord.
Mm.
And what does the Lord want them to do with what they've been given, with what they haven't been given, and the situation that they're in at this moment? What are they supposed to do with that to honor God? And that is the challenge because that's a super abstract concept. So again, when you start them young and just build upon it as they get older.
I love that because sometimes they're going to serve somebody or do something nice and that person may not appreciate it. It may not go how they hope, but if they're doing it to honor God, then it really doesn't matter what the response is or if they, the person appreciates it or notices it. Sometimes they're going to be working hard, serving just for the audience of one because they know that God sees them. And I think that's huge.
Yeah.
To add one more thought, something my boys haven't had much of an opportunity to do, but if kids have opportunities to do short-term mission trips, to get involved in service where they're really serving underprivileged. My older boys did grow up doing a monthly homeless outreach and, packing bags of produce and handing them out to people that either were homeless or just had, needs. I think that gave them a lot of perspective. So I think for kids to have the chance to serve others is going to really also help them develop perspective and see their life in light of, the greater world.
Yeah. So my mom works for Samaritan's Purse and she,
I didn't know that.
She does.
That's awesome.
She's technically a volunteer, but it's a full-time volunteer position in theory.
Wow. Bless her.
She is an area coordinator, which means she just works with all the different churches in our Midwest area. And so Operation Christmas Child is a year-round conversation in my family and has been since they were babies. I have pictures of Harriet packing shoeboxes when she literally couldn't even stand up. So that is something that is so easy to do because it is everywhere, but it has really changed my kids' perspective because they go to Target and they go through the dollar section or they see something on sale in August and they're like, oh, we should get these for shoeboxes. We just have a little basket. They're thinking outside because it's just something that's been part of our home. And that is not so big as a short-term mission trip because that takes time and finances and commitment. And that is a thing that is great for kids, but it doesn't have to be that big. Even doing what you said, Operation Christmas Child, volunteering at a homeless shelter.
Yes.
Lots of different things you can do to volunteer with your kids. And it really, when done regularly, puts things into perspective.